Have you ever felt like you were waiting for something? It may be an answer, a sign, a moment that never seems to come. What if life itself is just an endless wait with no clear destination? Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot takes us into a world where two men wait and wait, hoping for meaning, but they only find uncertainty. Through humor, repetition, and deep conversations, the play asks a powerful question. Are we all just waiting for something that may never arrive? In this video, I'll explain the story, the themes, and the background in which it was written. Waiting for Godot is a play by Samuel Beckett that explores themes of existentialism, absurdity, and the human condition. The narrative unfolds over two acts, and it focuses on the experiences of two main characters, Vladimir and Estragon, and they wait for a mysterious figure named Godot. It was written and first performed in the early 1950s. It was a time when the world was still recovering from the devastation of the Second World War. This period was marked by a deep sense of uncertainty and a questioning of life's meaning. People began to wonder about the purpose of existence in a world that had experienced so much chaos and loss. And Beckett, an Irish writer who later won the Nobel Prize in Literature, he captured this particular moment perfectly. He was influenced by the existential and absurdist philosophies that questioned traditional ideas about order and meaning. In this particular play, Waiting for Godot, Beckett uses a very simple setting and sparse dialogue to reflect the emptiness and confusion many people felt at that time. So now let's discuss the summary of the play. In the first act, the play begins with Vladimir and Estragon meeting near a lifeless tree on a desolate country road. Estragon struggles to remove his boot, and this expresses his frustration. Vladimir engages in philosophical musings. They converse about various topics including memories of past events and the uncertainty of their current situation. So it becomes evident that they are waiting for someone named Godot, though they are unsure if they are at the correct location or if they have the correct day. And as they wait, two other characters arrive, Pozo and his servant Lucky. Pozo is domineering and he holds a rope that leads to Lucky, who carries Pozo's belongings. Pozo decides to rest and engages Vladimir and Estragon in conversation, during which he commands Lucky to perform for them. Lucky first dances and then delivers a long disjointed monologue when he was ordered to think, and this portrays his disoriented mental state. After this display, Pozo and Lucky depart, leaving Vladimir and Estragon to continue their wait. Later, a boy arrives, claiming to be a messenger from Godot. He informs them that Godot will not come today, but will surely come tomorrow. And upon questioning, the boy reveals that he tends goats for Godot and Godot treats him well. After the boy leaves, Vladimir and Estragon consider leaving, but ultimately decide to stay and continue waiting. And here ends the first act. The second act mirrors the first act, and it takes place in the same location with the tree now bearing a few leaves, and this indicates some passage of time. Vladimir and Estragon continue to wait for Godot, engaging in similar conversations and activities as the previous day. They attempt various distractions to pass the time, including contemplating suicide, but they lack the necessary means to carry it out. Again, Pozo and Lucky return, but significant changes have occurred. Pozo is now blind and Lucky is mute. Pozo does not remember meeting Vladimir and Estragon the previous day. Their interactions are more strained and Pozo's conditions has made him more vulnerable. After a brief encounter, Pozo and Lucky leave once again. And the boy returns with the same message, that Godot will not come today, but will surely come tomorrow. When Vladimir questions him, the boy denies having spoken to them before, and this adds the ambiguity of time and memory within the play. After the boy departs, Vladimir and Estragon consider living, but they remain, continuing their perpetual wait for Godot. And with this, the play ends. And throughout the play, the repetitive actions and dialogues emphasize the themes of uncertainty, the passage of time, and the search for meaning in an incomprehensible world. The character's reliance on the anticipated arrival of Godot serves as a metaphor for the human tendency to seek purpose and direction even in the face of ambiguity and existential doubt. And one of the first things you will notice about Waiting for Godot is its unique use of language. Unlike many plays that follows a clear plot, this play relies on dialogue that often feels circular and repetitive. Vladimir and Estragon's conversations are filled with pauses, interruptions, and moments where words seems to lose their meaning. This style of writing is not just for effect, it actually mirrors the way life sometimes feels. There are moments when we try to communicate or find answers, but the more we talk, the less clear everything becomes. And through these conversations, Beckett shows us that language, despite being our primary tool for expression, can sometimes fail to capture the true complexity of our emotions and experiences. Now we'll discuss the themes of this play. The first theme is the repetition and cyclical structure. One of the most striking features of Waiting for Godot is the repetitive structure between the two acts. The near identical actions and dialogues are not accidental, they are a theatrical device used by Beckett to mirror the monotony of everyday life. By having the second act mirror the first one, Beckett illustrates the theme that life can feel like an endless wait, where time seems to pass but no significant change occurs. And this repetition also raises questions about memory and progress, and this challenges the audience to consider whether any true change is possible in a seemingly indifferent universe. The second theme is master-slave dynamics of Lucky and Pozzo. The interaction between Pozzo and Lucky introduces a sharp contrast to the idle waiting of Vladimir and Estragon. Pozzo the master is portrayed as a figure of authority who controls every aspect of Lucky's existence. His commands are delivered with a sense of entitlement, while Lucky's responses, which is often in the form of a rambling, almost incoherent monologue, highlights his subjugation and loss of individual identity. This dynamic is not just about two characters on stage. It symbolizes larger themes of power, exploitation, and the inherent inequality that can exist within human relationships. And Lucky's disjointed speech may seem absurd at first, but it also reflects the struggle to assert one's voice in a system that values obedience over individuality. The next important theme is the dynamic between Vladimir and Estragon. Vladimir and Estragon serve as the emotional and philosophical core of this play. Their relationship is very complex. On one hand, they are partners in their shared plight, each dependent on the other for companionship, comfort, and even validation in their endless wait. On the other hand, their interactions are marked by a constant push and pull. This duality captures the bittersweet reality of human relationships, where the need for connection exists alongside the inevitability of conflict and misunderstanding. Their conversations, though at times seemingly trivial, are imbued with deeper reflections on hope, despair, and the absurdity of their condition. The interplay between humor and melancholy in their dialogue encourages the audience to consider how we cope with life's uncertainties by finding meaning in even the most repetitive and mundane moments. The next important theme is the act of waiting. The act of waiting in the play is not just about expecting someone to arrive. It symbolizes the human condition itself. We all wait for moments of change, hope, or meaning in our lives, even if those moments never truly come. And this endless wait reflects our struggles with uncertainty and our search for purpose. Then there is the enigma of Godot. Who or what is Godot? The character of Godot is never clearly defined or even seen, and this makes him a powerful symbol. Godot might represent many things: hope, salvation, a change that we desperately need, or even the idea that life's promises are often empty. And the mystery surrounding Godot forces us to think about what we truly seek in our life and whether our expectations are realistic. The next important theme is the idea of time and memory. In the play, time seems to lose its usual meaning. The characters often discuss the past, their memories are vague and uncertain, and this blurring of time challenges us to consider how our understanding of the past influences our present and how the future can seem just as unpredictable as the present. The next important theme is the absurdity of existence. Perhaps the most central theme of this play is the absurdity of human life. Beckett's work belongs to the theatre of the absurd, a movement that suggests life has no inherent meaning and our search for purpose might be futile. However, rather than offering clear answers, the play invites us to reflect on our own experiences and find meaning in our personal journeys, even amidst chaos. So, Waiting for Godot did more than just challenge traditional storytelling. It changed how we think about theatre and literature. Coming out of a time of great global uncertainty, the play resonated with the audiences who felt disconnected from conventional ideas of order and progress. And by breaking away from normal narrative forms, Beckett encouraged a new way of thinking about art. And that is one that embraces complexity, ambiguity, and even the lack of clear answers. And the play has influenced countless writers, directors, and thinkers. Its themes of hope, despair, and the search for meaning continue to spark discussions not only in literary circles but also in philosophy, psychology, and everyday conversations about life's unpredictable nature. However, there's an important information. In 1957, Waiting for Godot was performed for prisoners at San Quentin State Prison in California, and the impact was profound. The play's themes of waiting, uncertainty, and repetition deeply resonated with the inmates who saw their own lives being reflected in Vladimir and Estragon's endless cycle of hope and disappointment. And there was one prisoner named Rick Clutchy. He was so moved by the performance that he later became a playwright and actor, and he dedicated his life to the theatre. This event highlights how Beckett's play speaks to the human condition, showing that its message goes beyond the stage, and it touches even those in the most confined and hopeless situations. Therefore, Waiting for Godot is a play that goes far beyond its seemingly simple plot. Through minimalistic dialogue, powerful symbolism, and themes that echo the uncertainties of post-war world, Samuel Beckett invites us to explore what it means to be human. Whether you view the play as a reflection on life's inherent absurdity or as a meditation on hope and waiting, its open-ended nature encourages us to find our own interpretations. So with this, I end this discussion on Waiting for Godot. If you think that this video has helped you in any way or the other, do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.